All right, welcome back everybody. Today we're going to walk through what is my EDC carry on a day-to-day basis, the items that I'm carrying in my pocket that I have cultivated and curated and identified what I think is the best of the best for me. It may not be the best for everybody, but this is really what I think, so we're going to go through that today. So first up, you got to start with the biggest item, right? Pocket knife. So what I am grabbing most these days is the Kershaw Livewire. I certainly have a large collection of pocket knives, so you will certainly see me carry a mix, but most days recently we're going with this guy. It's an OTF, runs $260, Magna Cut blade, super sharp, cuts through everything like butter, great action. A lot of these OTFs have a lot of tension here. This one has just the right amount. That's not going to accidentally deploy in your pocket, but it's also easy to do. It does have the safety, so if it does accidentally deploy, you know, it's not going to fully skewer you. You might just get a little nick, but really great. What I love about this thing is it's just super lightweight. It's got the deep carry pocket clip. It just sits in your pocket great. You hardly feel it there. It's nice and thin, so this is my number one pick. The other one I will say that I tend to grab a lot is the Spyderco Pair 3. This particular variant's the Salt variant. It's going to run you $220. A little bit smaller blade here with 2.93 inches. It's a little over 7 inches overall. Also got Magna Cut on this variant with G10 scales. Really, you know, this variant is meant for a water environment. So this is great if you're boating, or if you live kind of in a saltwater area. Really great knife, made in Golden, Colorado. This would be my other pick as well for best pocket knife for EDC. Next up, let's go through my keys. So I did take my personal keys off here. I carry 2 typically in addition to this, but this is my mess of keys that I carry every day. So let's talk through the items that we have here. So first up, we got a Glow Rhino titanium pry bar. It's got the Glow Rhino Tritum light in here, so or glow light. So this is going to glow blue. They also have green that you can do as well. So if it's really dark out, need to find your keys quickly, you can see it here. You know, got the can opener as well. Got the nice pry bar. This thing's really held up well, being beat around in my pocket. I don't tend to use it too much. I would say if there's anything on this key ring that I would get rid of first, it would probably be this Glow Rhino, just because what I do every day doesn't really have too much of a need for a pry bar, but it is nice. You know, you can use it to cut open a box, you can use it to open a bottle, or pry whatever you need. So carry that. Next up, I've carried one of these for years and years and years. It's a Spuds glasses cleaning cloth. You know, they're $5.49, super cheap, microfiber. But for anybody that wears glasses, you know, especially if you have kids or something, you know, you're always getting little smudges on your glasses, and it just pays off to have one of these guys. I think I've had this one for 4 or 5 years at this point, and it's still holding up great, being used every day. Couldn't live without it. If I take everything else off my keys, my truck key and this are going to be the 2 things that stay. All right, next up we've got the Olight iMini 2. So nice little flashlight here. It's kind of cool functionality that when you separate it off from the base, it automatically turns on. It's got a magnet back here. That's how it achieves that. Great little flashlight for just quick little inspections. I need to charge this guy up. I think it's about to die, but you know, great little handy thing to have, you know, at night, or if you need a quick little inspection. It takes up almost no space on your keys. Comes in some fun colors. It's got your integrated USB for charging right here. Comes with the little clip, so great little guy. Next up on here is my truck key. So I've got a Toyota Tundra, and anybody who has a Toyota knows their key fobs are boring as all get out, and I wanted something a little bit more interesting. My truck's orange, so I wanted to go with the orange cover. So this AJT design fob runs $41 on Amazon. A little expensive for just being a plastic fob, but I mean, it just looks cool. It fits the truck better. You know, they make these for other vehicles as well. So just had to have that on there. And then the last item, my most recent pickup on my keys is this Ridge titanium carabiner. So just nice to have the little carabiner when you need it, whether it's for your keys or to take your keys off and use this for something else. You know, I'm a big fan of titanium and how it holds up. It's got the integrated bottle opener in here as well. So not that I need it since I have the pry bar, but just nice little pickup that's helped me organize my keys a little better. So really like all of this stuff. Try to keep my keys as small as possible. That's about as small as I've been able to get it. So those are my keys. Next up, I'll do wallet. So this one, a little bit more off the wall. Not a big brand. This is a Etsy brand. I've really searched for years and years and years to have a great minimal wallet that can still hold the number of cards and cash that I tend to like to carry. So this starts at $59 on Etsy. They're all custom handmade. You can choose the color of the stitching. You can choose the color of the leather. It has a nice little cash pocket back here. So, you know, you can unsnap this and access your cash, re-snap this back up. So it can hold about 10 cards in it. But I love the fit, the feel, the finish on this. It just is a classic look. It disappears in your pocket. You can do a front pocket carry. You can do a back pocket carry. And like I said, it carries enough of my cards that I need, the 10 or so cards that I have, plus, you know, another 10 bills or so in the back. And it's just perfect. It's lightweight. It's durable. It looks great. So I love it. I'll put a link down below to the Etsy site for this guy, Hayes Leather Company. Great products. Can't speak highly enough about this. So much better than a lot of the wallets that are out there on the market. You know, I tried several from Belroy, and although they are really good on the small, slim form factor while still holding the number of items that I need, it just didn't hold up. You know, the seams are coming apart, and this thing is held up well. I know it's well made, and it's going to last for years to come. So there's my wallet. All right, next up, we're going to talk about screwdrivers. So I got two options here, actually, both from O-Knife, from their Otical brand. So the first one I started out with was this little guy, the D1 mini screwdriver. It's a 9-in-1. It's got magnetic bits. You just flip open this guy here, and it's got all the bits in here. So there's 4 different bits, each double-sided. Really great if you want to work on pocket knives, if you have little eyeglass screws or anything like that. Nice and secure in there. That you can put it in. You can put in the bits here and get kind of a 90-degree turn, or you can put it in here as well, magnetic bit. Really great little guy. This guy's only $19.99 right now. It's a heck of a steal. You know, it's nice and solid. I've carried this thing in my pocket a ton, and it can fit, you know, in that tiny little pocket in your jeans that you have no other use for. That's a great spot for it as well. You can put it on your keychain. This guy really comes in handy. And then I also got its upgraded, what I'll call bigger brother, the D2 Ti. So this one, there's a couple different variants where they have different inlays that they put on it. I actually picked this up from the Olight store in Las Vegas when I went for CES this year. So you've got a lock back here. When it's disengaged, you can slide this open. It's got magnetic rails that it slides on. And again, you've got the 4 different bits there with the multiple sides. A little bit more robust to this guy, of course, versus this guy. I just think this looks cool. I tend to not carry this one as much just since it's a bigger form factor, but it just looks so damn cool. So if you've got maybe like a little carry case or something that you're doing your EDC in, this one would be a good fit. If you're trying to fit everything in your pocket, this one gets all the same functionality and is a lot cheaper. This one runs $80. Like I said, this one's only $20 right now. So 2 great little everyday carry screwdrivers. All right, next up, we're going to talk about some flashlights. So there's 3 that I've kind of rotated in. I'm going to do the most powerful one first, but it's also the one I tend to carry the least. It's the Olight Arcfeld. So there's a couple different variants of this. This is the Pro variant that came out a couple of years ago. They've just got a regular arc feld. They've got the Ultra now, which is basically the same as this one. A little bit of performance bump and a cleaner aesthetic, a little more modern aesthetic. But this is really a great flashlight. 1,400 lumens on this guy. It does run 120 bucks, so it is more expensive. But you are getting the Olight OAL aluminum, which is supposed to be more robust. I mean, I've carried this thing. You can see there's a couple little scratches on it, but nothing too bad. But this thing just blows some of these other EDC out of the water performance. You know, the light, lots of different light levels, very bright. You've also got the green laser, super long throw on this. You know, I can throw it 100 feet away and still see it just fine. And you've got a strong UV light on here as well. Like all the Olight stuff charges with their proprietary charger, which I don't love because I have to carry that around if I'm traveling. But it is nice that it has the magnet on the back here too if you need it to magnetically clip it to things. So that is number one. All right, number two is the Wubin X3. So this guy, as you can see, much smaller form factor, still has the magnetic on the back, has a wireless charging capability, which is really nice for this guy. You can charge it through this magnetic as well, but I tend to just lay it on a wireless charger. Also with this one, you know, multiple light levels up to 700 lumens. It's got this nice display that shows you what your battery level is, what your light level is. Coolest thing about this guy, you can turn it. All right, so you can use it like a regular flashlight, or you can flip it. They call it 180. I mean, you're really turning it 90 degrees, but they call it the 180 system. So another really great flashlight here. This one's gonna only set you back $65, so a lot better than the Olight. This one also does do a red light as well. I didn't mention that. So, and then the last one here, which is the one I tend to carry the most, is the Phoenix E06R. So you've got an even smaller form factor here. It's lighter. This one you can just charge with a regular USB-C charger. A little lanyard hole, still got the clip on the back. Great thing about this one, also has a laser pointer. This one's red, not quite as bright, but can still get you the functionality you need in a meeting or something like that. You also have the UV on this one, which is great. And then you have 700 lumens of light output. And you've got this multicolor ring that you can do here. I'm not really sure why you need it. I think it's just kind of a cool factor thing, but for my money, I think this is the best one to get, $56, because this one you can actually carry in your pocket and you're not going to feel it. It's not going to bug you. You know, for my EDC, the biggest thing for me is typically how easy can I carry it all in my pockets. I don't want to have to carry some other kind of pack or pouch or bag to carry all my stuff in. You know, I just want to be able to carry it on me in my jeans pockets or pants pockets. So I'm typically going to go with the stuff that has the most functionality with the lightest, smallest profile. But when I do need a lot of power, or I know I'm going to be using a flashlight or a laser pointing a lot during the day, I'm going to go for the Art Feld. So those are the three flashlights. All right, next up we're going to do pins. So the first one, I got this about a year ago at an airport, and I've carried it with me a ton. I mean, you can tell I love orange because I've got all this orange stuff here, but this is the Lamy Pico ballpoint. So I love this. You can see it's pretty small. And you know, one thing, I don't love writing with pens like this that don't, you know, extend out past your hand. So what does this guy do? It pops out. So it's just the right length. Nice and lightweight, right smooth, with ballpoint ink. Like I said, just great form factor. I mean, you can tell I've had this in my pocket a lot, and there's not a single chip or scratch or anything that you can see. Super clean. I mean, it only has one feature really other than writing, and it's that it actually has this little badge that is a little bit raised so that it stops it from rolling. So, interesting little feature that you wouldn't think about. But really great little design on this guy. Really love carrying this pen. And then the next option is the Quaco Brass Sport. Sorry about the camera bump there. So this one I actually got before the Pico, and really love this thing. I mean, it takes a beating because it is machined out of solid brass. So you unscrew that guy, you can put the cap on the back here. So another one of these ones that, you know, has a nice length to it, but when it's in your pocket, you know, nice and compact. This one can work with a lot of different type of refills. You know, really great brand, really great fit, feel, and finish on this guy. It's heavy. You know, if you like a nice heavy pen that's gonna have some patina and get some more character as it ages, this is really a cool way to go. So big fan of this one. If you want lightweight, this Pico's the way to go. If you want something that's really cool, premium materials, go with the Quaco. So the Pico is going to run you a little bit less, $49 on this guy. Quaco is going to be $78. I will say be careful, there are a lot of versions of Quaco out there. And I do have another version that I bought that was a collab with another company. And it had a plastic body. It was a lot bigger. It just doesn't feel anywhere near as good. So if you are going to go with this, you know, I don't have experience with all of them, but I'd really try to stay with the premium material ones that are made out of stainless, brass, and things like that. So, all right, next up, you know, what headphones do you need to carry? So for me, I love having a pair of earbuds when I need to do a quick Teams call or something. I had an iPhone for a long time. I have switched to a Samsung, but you just can't beat the AirPods 4s. You know, the form factor here is so small. I mean, look at it, compare it to this tiny little pen, right? Compare it to the tiny little flashlight. You know, it's just so small. I don't know what else I have here that I can show that kind of shows how small it is, but I mean, they're thin, they're small. You know, they just work. They're always in there. They're always charged. They never fall out of my ear. They have noise canceling on these now. Super comfortable. You know, I've tried every type of headphone on the market. And, you know, the only one for me that really beats the AirPods are the Bose Quiet Comfort earbuds, because they're super secure. They have great noise canceling, so they're great for like an airplane. You know, battery life is good, but the case is huge. You can't EDC it. You know, you can put it in your backpack if you're traveling. It's great for that. But on the day-to-day, when you're like at a restaurant at lunch and want to listen to, you know, a YouTube video about EDC carry items from Carry Code, and don't want to bug your neighbors, you don't want to carry around a huge case. And you go look at every single headphone that's out there, and they're all huge. The cases are like 3-4 times the size of this. You can't fit them in your pocket. So if anybody's listening from the headphone industry, please, 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 please figure out how to get some of these other headphones. Because although I like these, I would love to have like a set of Bose or Sony or something that's actually in a nice small form factor like this. You know, I don't need it to do 4 or 5 charges out of the case. You know, the most I ever need is 1 or 2 charges. So let's shrink the battery down on the case, get the cases nice and slim, get the earbuds nice and slim, so that you can have some competitors to this guy. Because right now, I just don't see anybody out there that can compete. You know, if they do have a smaller case, they usually are uncomfortable. They fall out of your ears. You know, I tried the Galaxy Bud Pros, they fall out of my ears. I've tried Sony's, they fall out of my ears. So part of that's a me problem, but you know, you really can't beat this. They're $149 right now on sale, but you know, great little form factor. Need to be cleaned, but great form factor. You know, super small, easy to carry, throw in your pocket. No case on this guy. Carried these for a year and a half. And you can see, you know, holding up well. All right, and then 2 bonus items that I guess I'll end with here, or 3 really. You know, I already mentioned one. You know, I've got the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra with this kind of cool, I don't even know how to pronounce this, Pitaka maybe case. Just nice, really thin case. kind of a little bit textury. So I've really been liking this phone. Great battery, very powerful. Love this case. So slim, thin. You know, you can take advantage of how thin these phones are getting and light. So really like that guy. And then had to go with the whole Samsung suite. So, you know, got the S Ultra watch, and then also the ring as well, the Samsung ring for tracking. So this guy's really nice. Kind of used it as a replacement for my wedding ring. Super lightweight, super durable. Battery lasts, you know, 5, 6, 7 days at a time, which is great. And you can leave it on when you sleep. Like, I don't like leaving my watch on when I sleep because it's just too big and bulky, and the battery never lasts long enough. So it's nice to have this that you can do sleep tracking and things like that and not have to worry about the battery as much. You throw it on the charger for like, you know, 15 minutes while you're getting ready, and it's fully charged again. So great little product there too. One other little tidbit about these, if you want to get one, some HSA and FSAs will cover the cost of this as a health device. So, you know, if you have HSA or FSA money, you can use a little bit of it to get a ring like that. Those typically run $400 when they're not on sale. The watch I've seen anywhere from $350 to like $500 recently. They're constantly up and down on the price for those. So overall, that's my EDC. So hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, we've got the knives, we've got the cool wallet, you know, small form factor, flashlight, pen, little screwdriver, got the headphones, you got the watch, you got the ring, and then you got the keys over here too on the carabiner. So that is my EDC that I carry every day. So you can see, really compact. You know, let's take this guy out. We only carry one pocket knife. So really compact, you know, easy to carry. Feels great in the pocket. Great little setup. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you're interested in any of the items, you know, I've got them linked all down below. If you guys want to go purchase them, you know, I'll get a nice little kickback for it, which will help me keep making videos for you guys. Hopefully you enjoy the content. You know, I am relatively new to this, so probably rambling a little bit. Not as clean as I will be eventually on these videos, but hope you guys are enjoying it. Make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already. If you like my content, I'm going to try to put out something at least once a week starting out here, maybe a little bit more. But we're going to keep talking about EDC items. We're going to keep talking about pocket knives. We're going to get into some travel stuff as well. Some of my favorite travel essentials that I use as I travel around. So stick around, tune in, subscribe, check out the items that are linked down below. Have a great day. Thanks.